The LEGO Millennium Falcon set is the largest to date. It's over 7,200 pieces, and we're giving someone the chance to build it. That person will be carefully selected by our panel of judges. Orange founder Reggie Joyner, businesswoman Danielle Johnson, and trillionaire Brandon Odell. Let's meet our first contestant.
So Sawyer, you know we're looking for someone who can help us put together the Millennium Falcon Ultimate Collector Series. So tell me, why do you think you're the one that can do this?
I really love watching Star Wars movies, and I have a whole Lego city.
Would you say you're a master builder?
Probably.
So Vivian, this box says you've got to be 16 years of age or older to build this. How old are you?
7.
But you think you could handle it?
Yes.
Have a seat down there. So, are you a Star Wars fan?
Yes, I am.
Who made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs?
Han Solo.
Is that right? So Han won the Falcon from Lando Calrissian in a game of what?
In a game of...
It's a tough one. That's a tough one.
We only have 15 hours to get the job done. How long do you think it would take you to do it? Or can you even, could you make that happen?
I think I can. Well, I don't know the amount of bags there is, because the more bags there are, the more longer it's going to take me to build it. In 15 hours?
15 hours.
By myself, no. Yes. No, not by myself, but with help, maybe.
Can you say Millennium Falcon 5 times fast?
Millennium Falcon, Millennium Falcon, Millennium Falcon.
That's 3.
3 times. You ever stepped on a Lego barefoot?
Yes, I have.
Hurts, doesn't it? How long are you willing to work without going to the bathroom?
I'd go 10 hours.
Wow.
I'm interested in your organizational skills. So if I went to your room right now, would you say that it's clean?
It's a long time for you to answer this one.
It is.
Probably because I only have one Lego out on the floor.
Okay, that's good.
If I asked your sister if your room was clean, would she say it was?
Why don't you go get her? Just go get her and bring her in.
Nash told us that his room was clean except for one Lego on the floor. Does that sound about right? No?
Is it more or less that it would be on the floor?
What?
Is it a messy room then? Yeah. What was the last thing that Vivian got in trouble for?
The last thing she got in trouble for was for accidentally breaking a vase.
The last thing I got in trouble for was lying.
Oh yeah, lying.
Are you lying right now, Vivian?
Is there something we should worry about with Sawyer when it comes to building something? Is there something you would say, this is where sometimes it's hard for Sawyer?
Sometimes he might get a little stuck, but he can fix it.
Okay.
So you shouldn't worry about that. It's just, he might just get a little stuck.
So you've met Nash and you've met Sawyer. Do you think you would be better at building the Millennium than them?
Well, I think I'd be good at it if, if we helped each other.
So if you had to pick between Vivian and Nash to help you with Legos, who would you pick?
That's a hard choice. I'm best friends with Nash, but I don't want to not, include Vivian or something.
If you got chosen to do this, how would you feel?
I'd feel excited.
What if you didn't get chosen?
I'd feel happy for the person who got the job, but I'd kind of be a little sad.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we're going to let you know in just a few minutes our decision.
See you in a few minutes.
Welcome, everybody. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Listen, pretend that you are, think about it. You're at the church. You don't have your children with you, for those of you who are parents. And you're not, changing a diaper, wiping boogies, trying to search for that missing student. Welcome. Yeah, all right. That's kind of a big deal, right? Normally when we're here, we're doing all those other things. Well, all of you have either been serving, are just now beginning to serve, or are expressing interest in serving in our family ministry, whether it's preschool, kids, middle school, or high school. And we just wanted to say thank you for those of you who've been serving, for those of you who are expressing an interest in serving. I promise you, it's not just boogie wipes and, and diaper changes, although there's a lot of it. There's a lot of really great things that happen. And we are just thankful that you took the time out of your day today to be here in this room. But before we really get started, we wanted to do something with you. You may have noticed that there are some Legos on all of your tables. We have a little friendly competition that we'd like to, little friendly competition. Like I said, you have Legos on your table. In order to prove that we can do more together, because that is our theme for this year, we can do more together, thought we'd play a little game. All right. We recognize you. We see you. For those that serve all the time, we see you. We know what you're going through because we're there too. But it is such a joy to serve in kids ministry, in preschool ministry, and in student ministry alongside each and every one of you. But I know you're dying to know what's going on with our Lego friends. So let's check back in with them and see what happens.
So thanks, guys, for coming back in. What we want to do is decide who we feel like is the best candidate for the job.
All of you had really great interviews, but we have to pick a kid who can build this Millennium Falcon.
I guess we'll start with maybe Sawyer.
I loved the compassion that you had, Sawyer.
I think you're great at explaining how things work and how they don't.
I was a little concerned when I asked you to say Millennium Falcon 5 times fast. You only said it 3 times, so that makes me wonder if maybe you don't pay very close attention to detail.
Vivian, I'm impressed that you're confident. I mean, you just walked in here and you owned it and you know you can, and that's just amazing. I don't see that in kids your age a lot.
You are 7 years old, so that would be tough. That would be tough for you to build a 16-plus set. But I think if any 7-year-old could do it, it would be you.
Nash, you have and you bring to the table a little extra seasoning because of your age.
I did have a difficulty with your sister's interpretation of your room being clean.
Seems like there was a discrepancy there between the two of you a little bit.
I asked you, Nash, if who made the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs, and you said Han Solo. Then I asked you the question about Lando Calrissian and how Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon, and you couldn't quite remember the name of the game, which, it was a tough one, but we're looking for Star Wars fans, basically. We're looking for really big Star Wars fans.
Here's what we've decided. This is quite a task. Building the Millennium Falcon, over 7,000 pieces. So we've decided that the person that we would select to do that is Vivian. And we thought that in order for Vivian to do a good job with this, that we needed to at least add one more person. And so we decided to do this along with Vivian. We would add Nash. He has season and experience, and he's been involved in it for a long time. And we've decided that to do this well, we would want to make sure that we had the person who's probably the most passionate about the project, which is Sawyer. So we decided that the three of you will do this together.
Yes.
Sawyer, I asked you a question earlier. I asked you if you had to pick between Nash and Vivian to help you do it, who would you pick? And what you said was, I couldn't really pick either one, I would have to pick both. So that was kind of a decision for us. How do you feel?
Good that we all get to do it and nobody feels left out.
Well, I'm excited because everybody gets to do it, and we all get to be part of it. I'm just like, wow, it's the Millennium Falcon.
The Lego building has begun. There's 15 hours on the clock and lots to accomplish.
Whoa. Holy smoke.
It doesn't take them long to realize they're going to need instructions.
You gotta be kidding me, man. There's no instructions in here. We gotta figure it out by ourselves.
Wait a second, I found the instructions. Where?
You did? It looked like the bottom of the box was just a drawing of the Millennium Falcon, but it was actually the directions flipped upside down. Let's see what they say. Okay, now, how should we start building this? Where's that gray piece? Could you find that for me?
Need help pushing on them?
Yeah. I'll get this in if you get that in.
Nash, he's building the center base. I'm helping Sawyer, and he's like taking charge.
Make sure you don't bump these.
Who's working on bag 2?
You're working on bag 2.
Okay.
Nice job on your landing gear, Nash.
Thanks.
While things started off well, this project was clearly not going to be as easy as everyone first thought.
That's what we're building? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what we're building.
Bag 1's like super big because it's like the whole base of the ship.
Something's wrong. Wrong way. Unlock everything. We need to get this, connect, then do double this, another X-wing, then do this again, and then we're done. And it's gonna take forever.
We've done like 10% of it and still have like 90% left to go.
We need more people.
Fortunately, even though there was still plenty to do, on day 2, the kids were in for a big surprise. Not just the perfect Lego building weather, but also some helping hands.
We should put more people at the bags that have more pieces. Is that supposed to be for prying things off?
Yes.
We are finished with bag number 1. Adding people is making it a lot easier. Do you want to help me build this? You two work on that. Yeah, let's work on this together.
If it had only been the 3 of us, we would probably have only been like halfway done right now.
With an expanded team, now the kids were really making progress.
Sawyer, are you almost done with that bag? Pretty close.
Even so, time is now halfway up. There's plenty left to do, and the kids are beginning to show signs of fatigue.
Here's your entire problem. This just needs to be scooted back 1. You just have to rip this.
If we don't finish today, we need middle schoolers.
We still have a lot more to go.
I feel a little bit nervous. The struggle is real.
I know, I'm so sorry. Don't worry. Before you leave today, you will have seen the whole thing. We understand that working with kids and preschoolers and teenagers is not easy. Like I said, we see you, we get you. But wouldn't it be great if we could multiply our efforts more than just the people in this room? Wouldn't it be great if we could take what happens in this room and what happens in the baby room and the middle school room and make it multiply beyond that? Well, we can and we will. And that's what this year is all about. You may have seen some signage out in the lobby. We're passing out orange juice. Tim mentioned a few things from the stage this morning about turning the family orange. That's what this is all about. You've noticed that all the orange tablecloths, everything is orange, including the food, which was crazy, but they pulled it off. I'm really surprised. It was amazing. But we believe, as a church, we believe so wholeheartedly that there are two influences in this world that make a difference in the lives of kids: the family and the church. And we want to put those two things together. And you know, I mentioned earlier that the house has a red roof and the church has a yellow roof. We want to combine the yellow light of the church with the red heart of the home and create orange. That's what this is all about. They need each other. They really do. The church needs the family, and the family needs the church. And there's too much at stake for either one of them to fail. You see, when we combine them together, we arrive at orange. That's what it means to turn the family orange. What if we started believing in the potential of the family as volunteers and as a church to influence their own kids? And what if the families of Woodland, the families of Bradenton, the families of the surrounding area started believing in the potential of the church to influence their sons and daughters? Better yet, what if both the church and the families started believing in the potential of combining those influences to accomplish the same mission? This is why we want to turn the family orange. Because we believe that nothing is more important than someone's relationship with Jesus. Nothing. And no one has more potential to influence a child's relationship with him than a parent. And no one has more potential to influence the parents of our community than the church. And the church's potential to influence a child dramatically increases when it partners with the parents, and vice versa. That's why we're making it our mission in 2019 to turn the family orange. So in just a few minutes, Tim's going to come up, and he's going to share some vision, cast some vision, thank you for what you do. But first, I just want to tell you what to expect for the rest of the time we have here, just so you're not like wondering what's going on. So he's going to come up, he's going to share a little bit, and then we're going to go over a couple of very practical things that you can use as a leader in preschool, kids, middle school, or high school. And then we're going to break out into our individual ministry areas for just a few minutes to share some more with you, and then that'll be it. So we want to just say thank you for what you do. Thank you for all that you do, whether it's preschool or high school. God has a plan for your service here at Woodland, and we just want to say thank you for that. So, Tim, come on up.
I want to thank Jeff for leading our team because he's done a great job. Fantastic. It's been amazing for our staff to come together with one clear vision about family ministry. And I also want to thank y'all for what you do. I served in preschool ministry one Sunday because they couldn't find. We were serving at a little tiny church in Pensacola, Florida. And I was the minister of youth and music at this church, and they needed somebody in the nursery during the Bible study time. So during Sunday school, I went and served in the nursery, and some kid peed all over my shirt. So I had to lead worship with a peed shirt and used it as a promotion for volunteers for children's ministry, and y'all, it was a wonderful thing. I haven't really served in children's ministry. All I can say, we had 4 kids. They were all close to the same age, and I had hair until then. Okay, that's the truth. Then it all started going away. I was a student pastor for 10 years in middle school and high school, and Jennifer served alongside with me. She really put more emphasis on middle school and me on high school because I literally wanted to kill the middle schoolers. Okay, I mean, it was just one of those things. So I know what it's like to serve in the ministries that you're going through, and I just want to say thank you for all of that, because we couldn't do it without you. When we look at who we are, we understand that we definitely are strong when we come together to do service in ministry. So many times we find ourselves doing our own thing. And to be honest with you, in past years, that's exactly what we kind of have been doing when it comes to our teaching our kids, that our preschool's doing this, children's doing this, middle school, high school. They're all kind of going different directions, and it was important for us to be able to come together. As I said in the worship service this morning, we want all of our families to be able to have the same conversation when they're going home about what they're learning, that in preschool they're learning the same message as in all the other areas as well. But we also want our parents to get engaged. One of the biggest burdens that I have is not only for the kids, obviously we have a burden for kids, but I have a burden for the parents of our children, because I just want to be honest with you, they're not engaged. Many of them are not engaged. They drop their kids off for you to watch during the worship service, and they go to the worship service, and most of them are not involved in any kind of community whatsoever. And it really affects our ability to be able to have strong family units. And because of that, we're putting a lot of effort not only in helping our age groups even be better, but we're starting some orange groups for parents of kids. And it's starting with the Growing Through the Phases, and we've got so many already signed up for that. But I just want to encourage you, when you come across parents who are dropping kids off, to invite them to get involved in that, because we want them to start building relationships with each other. When you look at the Scripture, we understand that there are a lot of things that happened and many different examples of people coming together, especially in the New Testament church. Nehemiah is a good example of that. Nehemiah, you'll remember the wall in Jerusalem had been destroyed, been burned down, and Nehemiah had just this huge burden from God to rebuild. And as he saw what had happened and realized what had taken place, it was just this overwhelming sense of, how in the world is this going to happen? How are we going to rebuild this? And it was easy for him to look as a leader in himself to say, what can I do? But the reality is, it wasn't about what he could do or what the other people could do. It was about what they could do together. And because they came together and had a vision, they were able to accomplish something great. And many times for them even, they were probably hoping, God's going to do some big miracle to take care of this. And the miracle was this, that the people came together to do something. Isn't that a miracle sometimes? That the people came together to do something. And their vision about God was never, ever the same. In 52 days, they rebuilt those walls. And what we know is, when we come and work as a team of people, we can accomplish the same thing. I am so excited about what our church is going to look like at the end of 2019. And it's because of what you're doing. And, you're the unsung heroes. You don't get the attention. You're not on the stage. You're dealing with things in classrooms. Even the parents know that you're watching their kids, but they don't see what you're doing with the kids. And I just want to say, God sees what you're doing, and we know what you're doing, and you are amazing, and we are so grateful for who you are and what you're doing, and thank you for your commitment. I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff.
Thank you. All right, let's check back in with our Lego friends and see what's going on.
With half of their time already used up, finishing the Millennium Falcon was starting to seem impossible.
We still have a lot more to go. I feel a little bit nervous.
If we don't finish today, we need middle schoolers.
Ask and you shall receive. With a few hours left in day 2, middle schoolers were now here to help.
Do you want to sort the pieces, or do you want to just go at it?
So could you hand me that piece? You're doing fantastic.
We are on a roll.
It's speeding along because we have more people with us.
Wait, we're on bag 15?
Yeah.
Dang, we're going fast.
Thanks to some help from the middle schoolers, some real progress was made. But the truth is, day 2 is now over, and there's a lot of work yet to be done.
What we still have to do is the roofing.
We still have to attach all the panels.
And we have to build the driver's spot.
The Top Gun of the Millennium Falcon.
And then we're done.
What the kids didn't know is that the middle schoolers agreed to stay late into the night so the kids would surely finish on time.
The middle schoolers stayed late last night and made some serious progress. Now, I think you guys, you're gonna like it a lot, so why don't you guys go check it out and let's start building.
Okay, let's do this. Look at what's not done. Yeah. Awesome. That was amazing. This was awesome. Yeah. Okay, let's get building.
Now, with a head start on day 3, the kids were surely going to make it. But one question remained. Who would get to put on the last piece?
I want to do it. We should all do it. Yeah. What about everybody else that helped build this?
I guess I can go get them.
We all know a Sawyer, don't we? Yep, we sure do. All right, well, hopefully you guys learned a little bit about the importance of working together through that video series. So there you go. We wanted to spend just a couple of minutes giving you guys some very practical things that you can use in your ministries that you're currently serving in or you're interested in serving in. If you are a current volunteer and you received an email about this event, then that means that you should have also received an email from a place called Orange Apps. And we're going to get to that in a second. But if you did not receive that email, it's okay. The sky is not falling. We can figure it out. But if you did receive that email, you might want to go ahead and pull your phones out here in just a second and pull that email up. But first, we wanted to show you one more quick video about the importance of leading small. We all dream of leading big from a stage or in front of lots of people, but what if the biggest way for us to lead is to lead in smaller groups? So we're going to check out this video. All right, and so we have partnered with Orange Apps to bring each and every one of you who serves in preschool kids and student ministry the Lead Small app. Now, some of our high school ministry volunteers have already begun using this, so for those of you who already use this will just be a little repeat for you. But for everybody else in the room, we have this app that we need you to go ahead and go onto the App Store or Google Play Store, whatever you use, whether it's an Android device or an Apple device, and we need you to download the Lead Small app. Leadsmall, Lead Small app. Now, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of it right now, but if you get stuck while you're downloading it, it's okay. You can come and see me after we're done this afternoon, and I'd be happy to help you. Since there's like 75, 80 of us in the room, it'd be really hard for us to stop every time somebody has a question. So if you would download that app and then go to your email and open that email that was from Orange Apps, you will need to then click on, so it will say that you've been invited to be a part of one of these small groups. Again, if you have questions, please come see me afterwards. I see some heads going right now. It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. If you are serving in preschool ministry, you will have gotten like 5 of those emails. If you serve in kids ministry, you probably only got 1 or 2, and same in middle school and high school. But you only need to open one of them, and what you need to do is you just need to click on the link in that email that takes you to the website and create your account. That's all you have to do, but it has to be the email that you received from us, or else it won't work, because it has to be the right email address. So once you do that, and you have the Lead Small app downloaded, then all you have to do is open up the Lead Small app, log in, and you're set. Make sure you check the save password check mark, because if you don't, then you'll have to remember it every time you go in, and we don't want to make you have to do that. So let me just show you a quick video while you're trying to figure that stuff out that kind of gives you a rundown of what the Lead Small app can do for you.
You signed up to volunteer at church with kids or students because you wanted to make a big impact in their lives. But perhaps you soon realized it can be difficult to keep up with what you're supposed to be talking about and who exactly you're talking to. That's why we created the Lead Small app. It's designed to give small group leaders 2 major things. The first is easy access to your group curriculum. It's easy to prepare for your group time when you can find the lesson with one click on your phone. Read it ahead of time to make your group conversations even better. The second is simple rosters of your small group. Keeping up with 10 birthdays, 14 parents' names, 8 hobbies, 27 prayer requests, 5 allergies, and 3 snack preferences is a lot. So keep all that important information right in your app so you never miss a birthday or call a mom by the wrong name again. The Lead Small app has everything you need to lead your small group and make a big impact. Download it for free on iOS and Android.
All right, so as you're working on that, I just want to talk you through a couple of things about the app. Whether you serve in the baby room or you are a high school small group leader, this app is useful for you all the way through. All of the content for every single lesson that you have coming will be delivered directly through the app. Now, we recognize there will be a transition period. So there will be printable materials that will be given to you if that's what you're used to for a period of time, and again, also through the emails that we send. However, we really would like to try to get to this mode of small group preparation and planning. The good news is, let's say you are a Sunday morning or a Wednesday night small group leader for middle school. Your content for your small group will be delivered for you Thursday morning, the week before your youth group. You will have it 6 days prior to the event. If you serve on Sunday, you will have it a week before your event. So it's pretty exciting that you can have access to it right here on your cell phones. So make sure you find that email that you got. If you did not get an email, make sure you see one of us, and we'll write your names down with your email addresses before we break today. But we really want to try to get as many people using this app as possible. And if you, again, like I said, if you have questions, please come see us after we're all done today, okay? All right. Is that exciting? That's pretty cool, right? I think so. Y'all are falling asleep. We need to get you up and moving. All right. last thing before we break, we had 2 quick announcements. Number 1, if you are a parent in this room, we're having a parent open house in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, we're having a parent open house open to all parents, preschoolers all the way to high school. Probably right here in this room. We want to make sure all parents get together in this room. We're going to cast some vision to them about what we're doing. And we wanted to make sure we did this first because you guys need to really be on board. But one of the tools that we're going to give to all those parents is something called the Parent Q app. And it is an incredible resource that the parents can use that goes along with exactly what their child is learning here at church in the palm of their hand, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's a great tool for your parents as small group leaders, for your parents to connect with their sons and daughters with what you've been teaching them all week long. It's really great. So we're not going to show that video in the interest of time, but I wanted to just say one more thing before we break, and that is we have a couple of opportunities. Tim mentioned one of them coming up. If you're a parent in this room and you can find a way to be available from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. starting February 3rd for 6 weeks, we are starting a Parenting Through the Phases small group. It's not so small anymore. We've got over 40 people signed up, but we might be breaking them into 2 here if we continue to get more registrations. And that is a reminder to all parents that from the time your child is born to the time they graduate from high school, you have approximately 936 weeks with them. And when we begin to measure the amount of time we have with our children, we begin to make that time count. So we're going to focus together as a group on how we can make that time count as parents. We also, if you are blessed to be a parent of a special needs child, Brian's going to come up here in just a second and share just a little bit about what we have coming up for you here in the coming weeks as well. And last but certainly not least, we have lots of resources for you as small group leaders and as volunteers. If you are interested in becoming better at what you do, please let us know. We would love to point you in the right direction for books and resources for you to become better at what you do. So, Brian, if you could just come up really quick and tell us a little bit about the inside out, upside down, and backwards, and then we'll break into our groups.
First, I want to just say thank you to all of you for your portion control. We didn't run out of any food other than a couple things here and there, so thank you very much for that. Inside Out, Upside Down, and Backwards is a class that we're going to be starting in February. And it's really a class that's been born out of the joys of my life of being a father of 7 children. And really one of those things where as a father of 7 children, I'm blessed. And I love all of my kids greatly and dearly. I love the Parent Q app when Jeff gave it to me because when you pull it up, it tells you how many weeks you have left till your child turns 18. And I was counting that down for one of my children. So it was very helpful for me. It was a great tool. So when we think about that, having special needs children, there can be challenges and things that come along with that. And with Inside Out, Upside Down, and Backwards, we really wanted a class where we could come together as parents and be able to fellowship, but also be able to be challenged in the fact that God doesn't make any mistakes. Amen? He makes none at all. He equips us. He gives us the tools and the things we need to be successful as parents. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it means that with Him we can get through anything. And we wanted to have a class where often in my life as a parent of special needs, I've had frustrating situations where it's hard for folks to understand what you go through. It's hard for them to recognize and realize the challenges and the difficulties and the hardships and the things that not every parent can relate to because you don't have that kind of an experience. And so we wanted something that would allow us to be able to come along beside each other and be empathetic, but also be able to challenge us in regards to what God has in store. So that's really kind of the heart of what that class is and what's going to be starting. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your attention. I know this was a little bit long, but we appreciate it. We just really want to make sure that you feel the most equipped for what you do week in and week out. So we're going to do one more thing. We're going to break out into groups. Preschool group will go into the treehouse lobby out here for some quick conversation. Elementary, you guys can just stay right here in this room. And middle school, y'all are going to the lounge. And high school, y'all are following me up to the forum. But first, we just need to thank God for all that He's doing in our church community and in our world. We turn on the news, and sometimes you think, where is God? But When I look around in this room, all I see is the goodness of God and what he's doing in this world. And so thank you for what you do, but we need to give him the glory right now. So let's pray. God, we are so grateful